I
Big
did
old
start.
scar.
I couldn't see.
He
if
gets
I
to look.
I
He gets to look over his glasses.
I can't see if I started it or not with his glasses on. Welcome back.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh,
How you boys
look at
doing?
Stan with the stogie.
Oh, we got the stogie. I don't have that.
That's a big
Thanks.
stogie,
Yeah,
man. Oh my
Thanks for
god,
rubbing that in, dude. I don't have
This
that.
is my
Wow.
stogie.
that's
Hey.
huge.
I got
At
mine.
least you
That's the stogie, the
What's
plastic
your little
stogie.
dinky baby vape pen that you have? That's for children to get them hooked.
no, it's made for
For
8-year-olds.
children.
It's for children? What?
Yeah.
Ages 8 and up.
It's like something Calvin would use because he's a baby.
Wow.
Look at that baby
I
face.
can't do that.
Dude, we're like 2 seconds into the podcast. You're already taking shots. Did
Wait, did someone
I
say
have
shot?
to.
someone say shot?
This is my shot.
he has like a bottle of Hennessy.
Dude, it's just straight vodka in here. What do you mean? Gallon of vodka.
It's vinegar.
So
Oh,
Ryan,
that would be so
Oh.
gross. Oh,
Oh.
it's disgusting.
that does sound
Drink
terrible.
a gallon of. Dude, when my sister was young, she used to just drink red wine vinegar right out of the bottle. She
Ew.
used to chug it. Yeah, it was disgusting.
Wow.
My favorite cocktail, the vodka.
I have no
vinegar.
idea
What's the
why.
reasoning?
Why?
She just loved it that much. She just thought it was like the tastiest thing. So
That's
she
disgusting.
drank it right out of the bottle.
No, that's
I
hard.
threw up
gross.
every time. I'm still throwing up from that. I can't. It's disgusting.
Internal throw up.
That's
You just can't see
disgusting.
it.
What way to start off the podcast?
Yeah,
What an
really.
intro that was. Right?
What a way to start it.
People chugging.
So Ryan and I were talking prior to us starting, actually prior to all of you getting on, and we came up with some topics about the future. So
Future.
Oh, I got future glasses. Yeah, let me.
ooh yeah, bring them out. Stan.
Ooh, there.
My
ooh, I
sunglasses
see
are in
those.
my car. I'm
see
so
that.
upset.
So with everything going on nowadays, like the Capitol siege, the world pandemic, all that shit.
Right.
How do you guys think like how it's gonna turn out like for the next generation? Like, you think like what they're gonna read about is it gonna be like us surviving this shit, and like how's it gonna be written down? Do you think like they'll fuck it up in some way or something like that?
I don't think we're gonna write it down at all. I think in the future, all we gotta have good fuck robots.
Ooh, fuck bots.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Robots.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
that's
dude.
I don't even care about history or anything else anymore.
That'll solve the population crisis. There you go.
Bring in the fuck bots.
Well, I don't
No.
think masks are ever gonna go away. I sincerely
No.
think that this is just.
No.
the
I
don't think so
normal now.
either.
Well,
think
especially
so.
with the vaccine only having a 95% success rate.
Have
and then
you
also
have you seen people faking their reactions to the vaccine?
really?
So there's a bunch of Karens that are acting like it's giving them convulsions. Like, I saw 2 videos of these Karens just like tweaking out and saying that it's because of the vaccine, just like moving their bodies and saying that they have nonstop convulsions. And it's completely bullshit. Just because they're anti-vaxxers and they want to make everybody
Jumping
else
right
that
out
way.
the gate.
Even though it's so stupid. Like, you know why polio doesn't exist right now? Vaccines! Like, we would have
Vaccines,
so many
exactly.
worse diseases if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
I will never
Well-
understand. It's like a flat earther. It's like
So-
the same like.
so,
My
like-
mom just got the vaccine yesterday.
My mom
And-
got both of hers already. Like, she got both of hers done. And she hasn't had any side effects besides like a sore arm. That's it.
I mean, any
They said
vaccine
something
can
about you being
have side
tired
effects.
too,
Yeah.
or like fatigue.
Yeah.
Flu vaccines give people side effects. It's just a part of vaccines because people have
Right.
allergic reactions sometimes to some of the stuff that's in it.
And they did.
So
Well, they
it's gonna
cram
happen.
everything into one shot. I mean, and it can't all be good. You know, some has to
Exactly.
like
they,
something has to react with
they
you.
did
Nothing
warn the
is
public
perfect.
before they started it that there would be side effects to it.
Any
But-
vaccine has side effects. It's just a part of
Um,
the science. Like,
The
you
thing
can't
is
get away from
also
it.
they don't know how long it lasts. That's another thing that worries people is because
What,
and the
side
whole
effects or
well
the
no
virus?
like the vaccine itself they don't know how long it
Oh.
lasts, so they don't
They're
know. They
All right,
they're-
you should be good for the next 24 hours.
well they're like they said that it could probably last about 3 months and then you have to get a third shot
Right.
to keep it
That
going.
could turn people off. I can see that.
Exactly. Which is a big problem, and that where Lucas said that masks will always be a thing, which is true. They will be. Like all the people trying to fight the masks. Good luck. That shit's staying.
Now the
It's-
question
it's
is, do you
never gonna
think
go away.
policies will be lifted. I'm assuming so. Like,
I mean, they
mask
already
policies
kind of have.
enforced.
I mean, like,
They
you go
have.
into a restaurant, even like, so I went to Dave and Buster's yesterday, and they weren't sanitizing at all. Like, you had to have a mask on, but what I thought was really weird is that they didn't sanitize at all. Like, there's VR stuff that you put on your face, and there's, everybody's touching all these games, so you'd think there'd be someone going around, sanitizing. Nope. Not a
Wow.
single
That's half
person.
steps everywhere.
Not even like after the VR use. Wow, that's actually
No.
really shocking.
Mhm.
They just
I'm
had like
honestly
hand
generally surprised by
sanitizers.
that.
They had
Damn.
like hand sanitizer stations set up, and that was it.
That's
Like that
it.
was the extent. Yeah,
That's
that was
so
it.
Probably
weird.
just went to like the regulation and just cut it at that. You know.
That's so weird. Why would they do that?
I know. I thought it was gonna be like a gym where it was kind of up to the people to sanitize it.
Yeah,
know?
but you would still
Like-
think that even at the gym, they still have people go around and sanitize shit.
Yeah, to an extent, but
Like
it's more
towards
so
the
up
like,
to you.
yeah, like towards the end of the night they do.
They're
Oh,
closed
yeah.
for an hour every night, like from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., where they go
Yeah, but-
around and
but,
sanitize
like,
everything.
Think about it,
thoroughly.
Alex. Think about like we don't sanitize shit at work. Not really.
We used to back in the day, boys.
Yeah,
we haven't
Back in
done
the
it.
day, but
We
we
haven't
don't
done
Don't
it
you
even.
back
guys
since.
like for
You heard it here
cards?
first.
What?
Don't you still wipe
You like-
those down?
yeah,
every
we still
time?
we still do the
write 'em
cards.
down, but like I feel like that can't be doing anything.
I mean, that's still more than what they were doing. Literally nothing at all.
I
Yeah,
guess,
Nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like blown away by that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought that place would for sure would do some
Yeah, or at
kind
least,
of
like,
sanitization.
Set up like paper towels and like spray so that the customers could do it themselves.
Yeah, feel a little bit
Yeah.
safe. Apparently,
Yeah.
they just don't give a shit. David Buster's
Nothing.
is like, fuck them.
Especially with
Throw
all
'em
the
to the
kids that
wolves.
go there. Do you think it would be like, especially?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
little
they like
kids and
touch
stuff
their
there.
face and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, you
they
kid-
touch
well,
everything.
That's
My
like
my little 2-year-old niece was running around, literally touching everything the whole
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
that's the thing. It's just like kids are gonna do that. That's why they try to keep them out of schools right now too. Kids don't know
Right.
better. They don't know any better right now. They don't understand the world that we're living in. And that's
Truthfully,
crazy.
I don't
do think
understand the
it's
world
cool
that we're
how-
living in.
Yeah, it's
Like when you
true.
see a family come into come into the store or whatever, and
almost a slip. I was gonna be real pissed that I was gonna have to edit that out. But you got it. You got it. I'm proud of you.
well, when you see a family come in and like they already got like the 1 or 2-year-old to start wearing a mask, like they think it's cool. Like they'll keep it on and they're like, yeah, like
Yeah.
they don't understand, but they get that their parents are doing it and they're raised right, and I
They
like
want
that.
to they see what their elders are doing and they want to replicate that.
Right.
Yeah, and then you got
and it helps, and,
and
it's
then
a
you
good
got
thing.
the other people that come in with no masks, and the whole family doesn't have a mask on.
Right. I feel
Or,
bad
like-
for the kids that are like there was like this I don't know, they were probably like 10 years old and their mother was like freaking out about wearing a mask and the kid is just standing there like you could tell they didn't care and like they would wear the mask, but their mother
Right.
was forcing them not to just
Oh,
to like
yeah.
prove a
And
point.
you got
That
those
makes them
crazy
so
parents.
uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they would like bring up their kid into the conversation like they shouldn't have to wear a mask, they're this old and whatever, like using them as an excuse not to wear a mask too.
That's
like,
fucking nuts.
yeah.
The way this world is turning out is just crazy. Like, have your freedom, but like, man,
it's not a big deal.
yeah,
Like,
it's
it really isn't.
not. It's not even
In-
like we're taking your freedom away. It's just for the benefit of people around you at this point.
Yeah.
You're just being a
That's
Yeah,
what
dick.
it always
public
was. It was always for other people's safety, not necessarily your own. That's why everyone who's like, "Oh, I don't care if I get sick, whatever." It's not for you. It's for the people around you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what they don't understand.
it's crazy, dude. The world we live in nowadays is crazy. But like, so I can definitely see this, the way this world is right now, being written in the history books for sure.
But
Well,
I
But
don't
definitely.
think people always wear masks though, because like you see like other countries and stuff.
well, look at
and they don't
Japan.
wear, like,
Japan does it.
masks.
Japan was doing it before all of this.
Oh
Japan.
yeah. Well, that's because of pollution.
Yeah.
Not no
No, not
in
just-
Japan.
yeah.
It's a common courtesy thing. Like anytime they would go on a train, it's looked down upon if you're not wearing a mask. It's always not because of pollution or anything, just because that's common courtesy. They have more respect there for everyone than we do. In America, we tend to be very about ourselves, and we don't really give a
Gung-ho
crap about
Americans.
anybody else. In Japan, they have a lot more respect for other people. So like, you wear a mask when you're on a train because you're in close quarters with everybody else. It's just a polite
Yeah.
thing to do,
Don't
so
give
you
them
don't
the
spread
shit
any
that you
sickness
have.
that you might have. They've always done that.
Yeah, and that's
And
I
then
mean,
you
I think
have,
in Japan too, the subways and stuff are like it's person against person, like it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
close and
well, it's so
tightly packed,
populated.
too.
That's
in
why.
certain
Yeah.
like Tokyo,
Yeah.
not like outskirts,
Well,
because
no.
they still have like rice fields and stuff like that too.
Oh,
that
yeah,
are, like
right.
way less populated. But yeah, it gets crammed there.
Yeah.
So it's just polite. Like a lot of countries do that, and the only ones that really are complaining about it are like America, England, places like that.
Places full.
Most
of
places
bullshit.
don't really care. Dude, there's where was it? It might have been like China or something, where they are literally going around with a van and taking anybody, even if they're just on the street. If they're not wearing a mask, they put them in this van and they go to prison or jail or whatever for 24 hours.
Ryan would love that job, dude.
If they're just seen not wearing a mask at all, they go directly to a holding cell for
Dude,
24
Ryan
hours.
would be captain of that fucking force.
How crazy is that? Like people are complaining
I was
here
like, get in the van.
about like not being able to grocery shop without a mask on. They can't even walk out of their house without a mask on, or else they could go into a
Damn.
holding cell for 24. Like that's nuts.
Damn.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is wild.
So it's really not that bad here in
It could
comparison
be.
to other places.
But it's not.
Didn't
Thank
places
God.
like New Zealand already lift the mask policy and everything? Because I think
They-
they're coronavirus
yeah.
free,
Yeah.
aren't they?
They never really had any people. They had like one person, maybe like 5 at the most, that had the virus, and they were quarantined and they did everything right. I mean, you have to think too. Their population is way less than.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And it's easier for them to like ban traveling and stuff like that there. So they're on an island. Like they can easily isolate themselves.
Yeah, they just shut
Yeah,
down
they're
the
like-
airports and the ports, and that's it. They're good.
They're completely open.
Let the shit
Like,
run its course. And it's
Everything
good.
there is like back to normal pretty much.
But yeah, I like. There's gonna be a lot written in the history books over the past I would say decade, honestly. Like from 2010
Yeah.
until 2020, like there is so much shit that's happened.
I think too because of how long everything's last.
Yeah,
It's definitely
like
going to be mentioned a lot.
like even like the potential civil war that's like seems like it's destined to happen in this country again. Like I feel like there's gonna be some stuff that they're gonna leave out, and they shouldn't, because a lot of the stuff that's happened, you shouldn't let like anything go. Honestly, just
Yeah,
throw it all in
but
there.
America's always done that.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
you think back to like high school and going over the Vietnam War. At least for us, we barely touched it.
Yeah.
Barely at all. Because
yeah.
they don't want to talk about our losses. They just want to talk.
Well, they
like,
taught
World
us.
War II
They
was
showed us
huge.
Forrest Gump. That's what they showed us of Vietnam.
Yeah. And I remember like going over certain key words like napalm and stuff like that
Yeah.
in history class. But
Yeah.
for the most part, they don't really talk about it because we lost. It's
I
like
feel like that's why a
Germany.
lot of people lose.
Germany doesn't talk about World War II really because they want to forget it.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I can't believe that. Like, I feel like they definitely can't leave anything slide for this year.
They'll
Well,
do whatever
for
they want,
last
and like
year.
that's the thing is that, especially with like history books, you can never trust it completely because it's gonna be biased towards the country you're living in.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Like our World War II history is 100% different than like Japan's World War II history or Germany's or Russia's or whatever.
Russia was like, they
Well,
Well,
fucked up.
different perspectives, I'd assume.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true too, but a lot of it is just biased. You don't want to make your country look bad to the future
Yeah.
of your country.
That's
You
true.
don't be like, United States got murked.
Yeah, exactly. And Germany doesn't want to be like, yeah, we just slaughtered thousands of people. Oh well, it happened. No, they're gonna touch on it briefly, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that. So on the topic of, the future and the future generations that are probably not going to witness what we're witnessing right now, but what do you think they will witness that will change their generation, like futuristic tech-wise? Like, I believe, personally, from playing Cyberpunk, I think cybernetics are going to be a huge thing.
You think like
What's
well, they
the-
already have stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like I think
they have
they're
stuff
they're
in
developing
yeah.
some sort of prosthetic arm that
Yeah.
hooks into your brain that allows you to. That'd be insane.
Well, like,
It's already.
you also-
kind of
biggest,
a-
biggest
it's
thing for the
prototype
next generation.
Oh
biggest
yeah,
thing for the next
prototype.
generation in the future is self-driving cars.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say too. It's already like they had that Google car that it crashed or something. Something happened that it like failed.
Have you guys
But they
seen?
did have that a few years
Have you
ago.
guys
Like,
seen,
it could be
um,
weird to drive your own car in like 50 years.
Yeah. Have you
Like,
seen?
Probably.
Have you
yeah.
You
seen
have to get like
iRobot?
special insurance to be able to drive your own car.
Have you seen the movie iRobot with Will
Yeah,
Smith? Yeah. Like his
Yeah.
car, like how he
They-
would just like take it off autopilot or something, and then you
So
can
they're
still drive
predicting
manually.
right now that by 2050, every car will be electric.
That
there
makes
won't
a lot
be
of
any
sense.
more emissions.
that'd
It'll
be
be
cool.
like banned everywhere. To have
Well,
the
I mean,
car
they
that has,
kind of
like,
have to
pollution.
because I think going in the direction we're going now, you're doing irreversible damage. I think is what it was said
Yeah.
Mhm.
by.
I mean,
Was it?
California
I don't know who
already
said
has
it.
something like that. Like if your car emits so much CO2 or whatever, you can't have it in California at all.
Oh, okay.
It
I
has
didn't
to
know
be
that.
like
That's
a-
I
cool.
mean, like, there's
Yeah.
some places that
They've
don't
been
have
like that for a few years.
emissions check or anything. Like, in where we live, we obviously have to get an emissions sticker that says we're like underneath the pollution and everything like that.
Well, in the state of
Right.
Washington, they just got rid of emissions not that long ago.
Yeah, where I bought my
Yeah.
car, which it
I mean,
was,
there.
like not too far, but it didn't have any emission sticker or anything, so I had to buy that as soon as I
Yeah.
got it too.
The hard thing would be for like central United States because they tend to be more like stuck in their ways. Like the West
Yeah.
Coast seems to be the most progressive. Like
East
just living
Coast-
there for a while.
The East Coast
They
is
had-
like, we'll think about it eventually. Eventually, it'll
Yeah, I
happen.
mean,
I
the West
totally
Coast just
get
was
why though.
like
Yeah.
everywhere you went on the West Coast, there was a trash bin, a recycling bin, and a compost bin. Everywhere you went, they had like all three of those. There was
Yeah.
never like here. It's almost like you're shocked to see a recycling bin somewhere.
you are.
We don't
You
even
really are.
Mhm.
yeah, let alone a compost bin. We don't have anything like that anywhere. But
No.
yeah, like the company I worked at in Washington had all three, like everywhere, all around the store. There was all three. There was never just like a trash can.
That's
There
same
was
with my
always all
job.
three of those. Even the house we lived at, we had a trash can, a recycling bin, and a compost bin. And the trash can was like this big,
Yeah.
and everything else was like giant.
Yeah. It sucked.
So they like expect
Well, when you narrow it down like that, I feel like I guess trash isn't the biggest waste. It's
No,
more
we threw
so,
away
like,
everything
bottle-
as trash because we didn't know what to do.
Well, yeah.
None of us even knew what a compost
We're
bin was. We were like,
Americans.
what is this green bin for?
Like,
How does it work?
They had labels on like the underside of the lid, but we would look at it and be like, "Oh, we could put cardboard in there," and that's all we would put in it, nothing else. Like you could put so much other shit.
Well, that was
in
for
it.
recycling. Compost is for food.
I thought the
That was-
the compost one, the
Yeah,
recycling
the
one.
compost. We never used the compost
Nah,
ever.
that one.
We
was
didn't know how
always
to.
in the driveway. We never, we
Didn't
never
know
touched
how
it.
to.
We just never used it.
No, we never touched that shit.
No.
So besides self-driving cars, definitely I would say cybernetics, especially with like the massive amount of paraplegics in the nation, like from casualties of war, birth defects, all that shit. Like I could definitely see cybernetics being a huge part in the future, especially with like
Right.
even like deaf people and then like blind people.
Do you
Blind
do you
people for
think
sure,
It'll,
yeah.
Do you think it'll only be used for handicapped people, or like for the general
At the start,
public?
yeah.
At the start, yeah, and then I would say it would be available to the public to upgrade yourself.
Like corner stores, like in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, like
Where
I
you
would
can just go down the
I,
street and just.
I could definitely
hey,
see it.
give me
because
a
they
robot
would,
eye.
They would see.
I think it'll repeat itself a lot like how computers were invented, because computers were invented strictly for communications, like and then like after everything ended, it got like upgraded and types came out, and then it's now personal use. Like a lot of people have PCs now. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
So
You
I
just
feel
think
like
about like the crazy technological advances we have now, like on a yearly basis. When before, like if you look at like the 70s to the 80s, not that much change, not that many technological breakthroughs or anything.
Dude,
But if you look at
video killed
2000
the
to
radio
2010 and the amount of crazy stuff that look at like your phone, for instance.
Exactly.
Everyone went from having little dinky flip phones to having all of the internet in your pocket and
Yeah.
apps where you can play all these crazy games and do all this other insane
Right.
GPS in your pocket. Like it's insane. Like the
Yeah.
breakthroughs. They say every year, like the technological advances speed up incrementally. Every single year it gets faster and faster what we can do.
Yeah,
So eventually,
I could definitely
knows
see.
what'll happen.
Yeah, it's crazy to think of like even like not our kids, but maybe our kids would probably experience like the craziest stuff, for sure.
But like, you gotta think, will there ever be a cap? Like, how far can we really go? You know?
Not with the
I
human
don't think
mind,
so.
honestly. I don't
unless it'll get to a point where we do something we shouldn't do, like create an AI, for instance. This is one of the biggest ways the world could potentially end.
You're saying you think that they'll be so concerned with whether or not they can, they'll never stop to ask whether or not
absolutely.
they should.
That's what we've always done.
Those
Nice reference,
damn
by the way.
scientists.
But
think damn scientists.
that's what humans are so curious. They just want to do. We've created like miniature black holes and stuff like that.
Yeah, what's
Dude,
that,
how
Norway?
dangerous
Yeah.
that could be.
Well,
No,
I mean,
black hole, bro. Like, what's wrong with that?
Dude,
Like,
Cap,
big
for
deal,
the black
man.
hole, dog.
If we can do something, we're gonna do it. Like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to, just because we
Yeah.
we already had like AI. Remember the whole like Facebook thing that happened, where like Zuckerberg had these two AIs like
Mhm.
talking to each other, and eventually, like after just a couple of minutes, they like invented their own language and were communicating in a way that we couldn't understand. So he's like, shut it off right now. Like we don't know what they're talking about, so we have to shut this off completely.
it could have just been
It could've
random
been
gibberish.
anything.
They could be like, "Hey,
What
dude,
was
how's your
the-
day?"
There
I
was a
want spaghetti.
story.
Shut it off. Shut it off right
that,
now.
like, so there's like this a printing press, okay, and the printing press gets an AI, or it wasn't a printing press. They like made like greeting cards. That was it. They made greeting cards. So they made this AI to just write the greeting cards for them. So it would, and it would send them all out, and they were doing well. And then another company like one-upped them and had them like send out like different dialects and stuff like that throughout different countries. So it was like even better. So they're like, how do we go from here? And the AI suggested, let me learn about all the slangs throughout the world. And their one rule was never let the AI be hooked up to the internet ever, or else who knows what could happen. So they hooked up the AI to the internet because that was the only way to learn all of this slang in all these different places. And the AI ended up like basically going rogue, and it took over like military drones, and it spread like viruses throughout the world and like all this other crazy stuff. So that's all it would take, basically.
Yeah, it's just like
Are you sure you didn't just watch War Games?
No, that was I forget where I read that, but it was like just
That
an
was a
analysis
dream
of
I
how,
had
like,
a couple of days ago.
No, I read this years ago, but it was like an analysis of how like AI could potentially kill
I
humanity.
believe you, man.
Because it said
Yeah.
the AI, the only thing that could stop it from doing its job, its one design, was a human being shutting it off. So
Yeah.
how do you stop? You have to kill every human in order, because they're the only things that can stop it from doing its job of making greeting cards.
it's
so
just
you
like
have to kill them all.
it's just like Terminator, dude. Like Skynet
Yeah,
and
it's still just
everything.
it's still just doing its job in the most efficient way, and the most efficient way would be without us.
Yeah.
We're the only things that could stop.
Well,
its
I'm sure
progress.
there'd be a way to hard code in there that humans aren't targets. You know, I'm sure there'd be a way.
Not
Because
if
if you
it
say
learns.
there's a limit, if there's not
If
a limit
it's-
to things, then that has to be something too.
If it's a self-thinking robot, it could change its own design. Like it could change its internals however it wants to.
Yeah, but I feel like you could have like admin control.
Unless
Like
it,
it
turns
could be
off.
self-thinking, but like maybe that one thought is just like blocked. Like it can't do that. You know.
What, like
I mean,
a-
as
like a
stupid as that is
fail-safe?
to say, but like.
But what if accessing the internet would change that? Because it could access everything, every iota of information, and it could learn
That's true.
something new that could change it.
It
Well,
would crack
I'm just
every.
playing
I don't
devil's-
think
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but
anything
it's considered AI
self-thinking,
as
I don't
advocate.
think should have access to change when hooked up to the internet. I don't think you should have like permissions
No.
to change things.
no, it shouldn't. But who knows?
It could break its
It's a-
own fail.
Did you like? There was that. What was her name? What was it? There's that one AI robot that exists right now. It's like a girl.
It's like, is it bald, right? It's
Yeah,
Oh,
they made her like
yeah.
a citizen
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
country.
yeah. I
And-
saw that.
And she's like cracked jokes about like killing all of humanity and stuff like that. It's the only like
She's already
AI to
on the
be
way.
an actual citizen of a
Time to
country.
load my
too.
shotgun.
It's just crazy. Like who? That's how I think like the number one way the world will end is by us. We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
create something greater than
Well,
ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think it will
100%.
be us. Yeah.
Either nuclear holocaust, which is still a high possibility.
Ah,
AI.
It's less. It's
the-
High. I wouldn't say high.
no. It's gone down.
Well,
no
it's-
one wins. No one
No,
wins in
no
the
one
end
wins.
there.
Well, if somebody launched nukes at us, then we launch nukes, and then our allies launch nukes, and their allies launch nukes.
Yeah, but I don't really foresee that happening, just because, like, especially with, like, I don't know, with, like, the UN and stuff like that being so established, there's not really as, I don't know, all the countries that are, like, warring still don't really have access to that kind of stuff.
True.
And if they did, like I said, the whole
it's
war
always
would end, so no one would win.
It
Well,
would be
it
a high
depends on the size of the
possibility.
nuke. Because if it was, like,
It's still a possibility.
Batman or whatever, it would just destroy,
yeah,
like, citywide.
Mhm.
Well, North Korea and the U.S. both have like some of the biggest nukes. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Whoa.
nobody knows what North Korea
Yeah.
actually has.
Yeah, no one knows.
It's
But,
just
like,
it's just them
they
talking.
said like
Because they
what-
also said they had no coronavirus there at all, and then just recently, like a week or two ago, they were begging for the vaccines. So they just
but,
make stuff up to
Well,
make
better
themselves
safe than
look good.
sorry, you know.
Sorry, dude. We don't know what happened to our vaccines.
all nuked. Like, what would even be the point of that? Like,
Well, you say, Lucas, you say humans have no limit, but I mean, cloning is a thing that could happen. And it's
Already.
like discovered that it's
Oh, it pretty
possible.
much
Yeah,
already
it's
happened
just
with, like,
there's a
sheep.
worldwide, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just like, that's a no-go, don't do that.
You can't
But I
clone
mean,
Never with a
you
human.
said there's a limit, so. I mean,
who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll invent time travel one day. Maybe we'll teleportation, and it'll be like The Fly, and we'll, you know,
Oh, Jeff
have-
Goldblum.
Jeff
We need
Goldblum
save
coming
us.
after us.
Save us, Jeff.
there's
No,
something
he'll kill
about
us.
time travel that I just feel is too movie-driven. Like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
feel as though it's something probable.
It's
I think so. We look at time in a linear fashion. That's how humans. It just goes in one line. It just goes forward. But what if it's not? What if it's more circular? What if it actually comes back in on itself? This is just a theory that's floating around out there, but it's basically that as the universe keeps expanding, eventually it'll reach a point where it can't expand anymore, so it starts like caving in on itself, causing time to reverse in a sense, sending everything back to the beginning, the Big Bang, and then restarting again in like this endless cycle. So who knows? I mean, anything's possible. Ryan's gone.
Ryan's out. Ryan's gone, dude.
Too deep. It's too deep. I can't do
That
it.
was awesome.
Just say
I
that
love
anything,
That was good.
anything is possible. Never doubt it, because anything could happen. Not in our
Yeah.
lifetimes, mind you, but in a million trillion years.
Yeah, who
knows?
knows? You never know.
And then what if that's just the cycle of life? Is just the universe constantly recycling itself over and over again,
RTE
Maybe we
vids
live the
will be a
exact
thing
same
always.
over and over again,
Mod-
infinitely. This
modded
could be like
Mondays
the
will be
800 millionth
forever.
time we've done this conversation.
or not.
Or not.
Or
or
not.
not.
Or not.
Yeah, it is. Who fucking knows?
You're like, probably
anymore?
not, but it's possible.
Anything's possible.
Man, we.
I
went out
truly
there.
believe time is cyclical. I don't think it's as linear as we think it is.
Well,
I
yeah,
think time
it's like
travel is possible.
Can you imagine though, like if time were to cave in on itself like that, like instead of decomposing, you would see like recomposing. So you'd see like a skeleton just come back to a person.
yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't it? Like who? Who knows? I don't think anything would really be alive at that point. At least, I don't know.
Maybe not our species, but like some form of living thing.
because by that point the sun would have exploded and murdered. It would what they said it would like absorb Mercury and Venus and overheat the Earth to like an extreme degree where nothing would survive.
It'd just be a
That's
rock.
gonna happen one day when it like supernovas or whatever.
Yeah. And that-
Eventually,
we-
the Earth is
we don't have
doomed
to
no
worry
matter
about that
what.
shit.
But
We'll be long dead before that shit.
no matter what, everything's gonna die on this planet one day.
Just the circle of life at that point.
Stars
Well,
explode.
this went from talking about tech to talking about the death of everybody.
Yeah,
so.
the end of the world. Nice.
Welcome to the Pacelli podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. That's, we're fucking in it now.
are.
So
Indeed.
back. Let's do a little time travel back to the future thing. Ryan and I were talking prior to the podcast, and he brought up a good point about flying cars. Do you guys think we'll see that in our lifetime, or what do you think? And do you think the regulations would be like different, like how you could fly them? To like, would it be the same as like how traffic is now, like how you have to, you know, abide by stop signs, red lights, speed limits, all that stuff.
I guess
don't
a
think
better starter question would be, because going off of what Stan said earlier about like self-driving cars within the next, do you think humans are just going to go the self-driving route, skip flying cars? Or like if flying cars were to come out, what kind of regulations do you think it's?
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's feasible enough. I feel like they would have to change like the layout of cities like completely to suit that. Because like you have to think about how high can it fly? Are there like going to be skyscrapers in the way or like telephone poles and stuff like that?
Right.
I don't know if it's like
Technology errors in it too.
Yeah.
It's like
I think we could do it. I mean, there's already been like beta testing on stuff like that before where it worked to an extent, but I don't think it'll ever be like efficient enough. I think a self-driving car would be way more efficient, and it would probably be easier to knock out like the
what would that
glitches and
even,
stuff like that.
provide you with though? Like being able to would it be like a car underneath the other car and it's just easier to get around, or is
It
it
makes
like,
like-
sick ass action.
I feel like
movies.
the first regulation would be like Lucas said, height. So like how there are roads on the ground, I feel like there would be,
like 3
you know,
levels?
obviously there's flying cars, so I'm assuming there would be flying other things too.
Well,
So maybe like
have you guys seen have you seen Back to the Future Part 2? Not to
Yeah.
put on in Back to the Future Part 2 they travel to the year 2015, and supposedly how they thought it was going to go that there would be flying cars. So when they arrive into the future, they arrive in traffic in the sky when they're flying. But so they have like roadways in the sky that are like LED lights,
right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it guides them to their. But like they stray off at that at one point to go down into the city, which is weird. But like it's like they have like those like kind of like how you have the reflector strips on a highway to tell you where.
Yeah,
the
but
Right.
how would
road
you
is.
like regulate how high or how low the car can go?
Exactly. It would go
Flying
down.
cops.
It would go into the FAA at that point.
Would it like automatically go up to that point, or would you have to like manually like fly it up?
You would probably have to manually
automatic
fly it up.
transmission, you got manual, you know. Just
I just feel like that would be so like risky. 'Cause,
That's like that's what. Well, Ryan said the driver's ed course would be a lot different from what
Hell
we're
of a
used
lot
to.
parallel park in the
Okay,
air.
How about this? Like the car starts off on the ground and there's like an emergency brake. You turn the car on, and then when you're ready to go to flight level, you take the brake off and you just float up to flight level, and then you just go.
I wonder
Maybe.
how that would work. Like, would it be a different
don't
kind
know.
of fuel? Would you need like jet fuel for your car?
They probably
Like
do.
they'd have to
yeah,
change
something
the
like that.
entire makeup of a car. Like they'd basically have to invent an entirely new vehicle in order to do that.
Probably. Yeah, we're taking the car approach. It probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be car shaped.
Yeah. a
It would be.
floating
It
vehicle.
would probably be like a little jet.
and then
But
when
also,
like the same
like, who would use this car? Like,
I feel
obviously, it wouldn't be realistic to fly a car to like the gas station a mile away. You know?
Yeah.
no
Like,
way,
it'd be
dude.
for
That'd be
a long
great.
That'd be sick. I'd get there in an instant.
Avoid traffic, avoid snow. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh, that's a good point.
Which is
though.
another question:
Yeah.
is how would snow and like other precipitation affect you if you're higher up?
Well, think of it how it is with airplanes. It doesn't affect them at all.
Yeah, but an airplane is also like ginormous.
Well,
And,
it would
like, way
probably
heavy.
affect them to the point where like it's kind of like it's rain, because
Yeah.
it's not laying.
Right.
You're going too fast probably. For
Yeah,
it to
that's
stick.
true. I mean, it gets with like gravity and everything. It
The
gets,
only
like,
thing you
worse
probably
the
have
farther
to,
it goes
yeah,
down.
like the only thing you probably have to worry about is when you park, like when you.
or pigeons.
Yeah,
What if you hit a pigeon?
Birds would be like the new snow, and like
Yeah.
like if someone throws like a bag of Taco Bell out the window or something, that's gonna be the pigeon, dude. That's the pigeon that you run over.
You could kill a person. If you just throw something like heavy out of your window, you could just kill
I'm
somebody.
done with this Baja Blast.
Some guy on the street.
what the fuck?
You just like throw a penny out the window and it just smashes somebody.
Yeah, you open up your window and a receipt falls out and just cuts them in half.
They get the biggest paper cut of their life.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, flying cars would be cool, but there would be so much bullshit.
So much, yeah.
like
I just don't know
politically
if it's...
bullshit, regulation
And how would
bullshit.
we're trying to go like green and everything. How would that work with like emissions and stuff like that? Too?
Well,
Yeah,
I would
true.
assume it would be electric somehow.
Yeah.
At that point, if we're getting
And
flying
then it's
cars,
like, what if you don't charge your car enough?
Oh.
And you're in the middle of the air, yeah. And you just go, or like you run out of fuel, like, and then you just go straight down.
Yeah,
like
just
those
like,
are like,
unless say they find a way that like when you run out of fuel, you just slowly start.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
beforehand, like when it's like on E, it'll like just automatically take you down, something like that.
or like when you start your journey, you'll mark like a waypoint on where you're going, and it'll tell you if you can get there with enough or something. Like it'll detect or maybe something like that.
You could just be like, fuck it, dude, I'm going anyway.
Dude, could you?
I'm gonna take a detour.
Stop, like recharge and stuff.
Yeah.
They'd have to make like new stations for that, yeah.
Dude, could you imagine drifting in a flying car?
Could it even
Dude,
drift?
donut.
I mean,
That'd be sick. You just drift and the clouds just dissipate behind you.
Yeah.
I think that
Revving
we
the
should
engine.
stop looking at the sky and go down into the ocean, because I want to know what's down there.
I
They
don't.
keep finding like new
That shit's-
species all the time.
That shit's scary, dude. I don't want that.
Pressure's
I'd rather
too
find
dense,
out what's
isn't
up
it?
top than before I find out what's down below.
We've gone to the
Well, I
moon,
mean-
but we can't get to the bottom of the ocean. What the heck?
I mean, going up, it's kind of infinite for us, but going down, there's got to be a point where it stops. You know.
Unless
yeah,
there's
that's
not.
why I'm like,
Dude,
why
Pacific
not?
Rim? Did you guys ever see that shit? Pacific
No.
Rim was
I know what
an
it's-
interdimensional portal that led to giant kaiju fucking tearing up the world.
Yeah. But like, it's just crazy, right? That we've explored more of space than of our own ocean. Isn't that like fucking weird? Like,
is
weird.
How
It is
is that
weird.
even possible?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
it's
we don't
the
have anything
pressure,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, the pressure will kill us. We can't. There's no
But
way
you'd think
could
that
get
we
down
would have
there.
found like something to stop that by now.
What if
right?
there
Or at least
we
a
can,
camera that can at least get down there and see something.
if we could like, yeah, and if we can survive, like we have like these robots we can send all the way to Mars that can survive there. You think we could survive like in the water?
But there's not.
Well, I mean,
is
it's
there a
different with
material?
electronics and water?
Yeah, like is there a material that we could send down there that wouldn't be crushed by the pressure?
I'm
I don't
sure
know.
we could
would
create
have to be
something
real
at this
tough.
point.
Like diamond or something. We'd bring a diamond encrusted Land Rover down there.
We've created like all these insane inventions. You'd think that there would be some sort of vehicle or something that could go down there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you
Maybe
squinting
one.
at?
Maybe one point.
Maybe there is, and they're just hiding it from us.
And
Yeah, maybe they found out what's down there and they just don't want to tell us.
Yeah.
Like
What
the
if
aliens
It's
what-
did.
Godzilla.
Oh
What if
fuck!
it's mermaids? What if they're hiding mermaids from us?
That's-
And the scientists
also
just want them for
hiding all
themselves.
the clones.
All
The
the
clones.
clones.
For the clone lab
Clones are
bits.
coming.
All the
I
clones.
want a
in the
mermaid
ocean.
girlfriend.
Well, you're not allowed to get one unless you're a scientist that goes to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, Area
I'm
51
going down.
for mermaids, not aliens.
I'm going to Atlanta.
Prove it.
All right, see ya.
I think I read a while ago that they discovered a planet, like not anywhere near us, but they discovered a planet that is only water, like no land at all. And a lot of people are speculating, like, there has to be life in there then. There has to
Oh,
be sea
yeah.
creatures or something.
I mean,
You
they
know?
discovered traces of life on Mars because there was like dried up riverbeds, and
Yeah.
they found
Yeah.
like bacteria and stuff that used to live there.
Well, they also found a
So-
planet not that long. I think I read an article like a couple weeks ago or something that they found a planet in a different galaxy that's parallel to exactly how Earth is. Like literally, it's identical to how Earth is. Same atmosphere, 70% water, continents. Like it's identical to Earth. And it would take forever for us to get there and actually look at it, but like still that's crazy to think that there is actually another planet out there in a different galaxy that is similar to us.
I mean, with how just ridiculously ginormous the universe is, there has to be life somewhere
yeah.
else.
You
There
can't
has
think
to
that
be.
there isn't. That's fucked up.
Just by like
has to be.
the probability, like there's no way that there isn't something else, even if it's just like microorganisms or something like that. Like there just has to be something.
Would you guys go into space if you were offered the chance?
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It
Not a
depends
second
on
thought.
the, like, circumstances, I guess. Like, what kind of trip. Like,
Like
if it was
ex-
just,
like
we're
explore-
going up to see the Earth and coming back down.
Like
or-
exploration. Like No
It could
Man's
be a
Sky.
hillbilly and a homemade rocket ship, and I'm going up with that boy.
I'd probably say no then.
I would do exploration. Hi, Faith. You can show yourself. It's fine.
Reveal thyself.
No girls allowed. Stan just freezes.
That's a,
Yeah.
that's the second appearance of Faith on the podcast.
Hi, second appearance for Faith.
The
This
first
is my first appearance.
Look, there's Latch.
the
Dancing in the
Oh,
background.
hey,
with the lights.
Latch.
Yeah, he's he's leaving.
Oh,
Bye.
he's out. He's bailing. But yeah, so like, what do you guys? So you would do a space exploration trip if there was ever a possibility?
Why not?
I probably wouldn't.
You would?
No.
Oh man, that's not fun.
Why not? You want to send it?
You wouldn't want to be
I
one of the people
absolutely
that
would.
would like colonize
No,
a planet or
I don't
something?
think so. No.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat. I would love to see what it looked. Just imagine like just seeing the Earth like from outside of it. Like that's insane. Like that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. Like
I would
being
love
one of
to.
the people to actually like see it like with your eye, like that's wild.
That's insane. Yeah. I
That
mean,
would
they
be
were
dope.
talking years ago about how extremely possible and like soon vacations to the moon would be.
I
It cost
actually,
you over.
I just saw
Everybody
something like that.
Like running off.
They said it was like over $1 million, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, there's
It's
so I
feasible.
watched a podcast with Joe Rogan. He had a astronaut on that used to work for NASA. Now he works for why can't I think
SpaceX.
yeah, SpaceX.
SpaceX.
Yeah, he works for SpaceX. But he said in the podcast that they just started the fuck am I trying to say? They just started their first trial run of sending like non-astronauts to space, like citizens for like vacations and stuff. Like to
Yeah.
fly them up,
Citizen.
circle the earth and then come back down.
I don't think
What
it's
is it?
happened yet, though.
It hasn't yet. They're just starting trial runs. Like they just what they do? Launch the first rocket that's supposed to go up, and it was a success. And then they're gonna send. I think they're sending a couple people the first time or something like that. He said, and then they'll start like actually, doing vacations pretty much.
They would have to do some sort of training, right? Like even if it's just like basic stuff. Because I mean,
Well, I don't know.
And they
because-
act as an emergency
it's
or
completely
something.
Yeah.
different on a spaceship too. Like
well, you have to get used to it. Like,
yeah,
what that guy said
because you get
is
like sickness and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Well, that's only if you're up there for a very long time. If you're up there for like more than a week or something like that, your bones start realizing that your bones are so light, so then like they don't become as dense. They start like hollowing out pretty much. So when you come back to Earth, like astronauts have to work out for like a year straight in strict regimens to get their bone density back. And
Doesn't it fuck with your organs too a little bit or something like that?
I don't know if it fucks with their organs, but I know it fucks with the bones because you're so light up there, so your bones aren't used to it.
Right.
It's used to Earth's gravity, not used to zero gravity.
Right.
But I don't think it fucks with your organs or anything.
Because I thought, what are we saying? Like, because are they gonna have like gravity chambers in this where it's like
No,
it's like Earth gravity, but in there, but it's all zero gravity?
it's all zero gravity. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
don't-
I would
don't
probably
think-
say your organs would be floating around or something.
Well, not
like-
even our space station has gravity chambers yet. They don't have that. They're still in zero.
I like how I
gravity.
say gravity chamber as if like that's a a gravity chamber.
Yeah, I have
Totally.
one in my
It's a common
garage right
thing.
now.
Yeah,
It's just a common thing.
Yeah, I have one in my garage
But
right now. I just
I
turn it
figured
off.
that would at least be a thing before even talking about space travel because like zero gravity for a long period of time would probably be
It fucks you
like-
up.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it fucks you up.
that's what I mean. Like I feel like they'd have because like astronauts have to go through ridiculous amounts of like physical training and stuff like that. Even if it's like short trips, every single one has to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'd have to do something like a crash course or something like
Probably.
that.
They
for-
probably would have to do like a crash course on like what to do in emergency situations, and then they probably would have to do the same thing with the astronauts just to be safe that they don't get injured when they come back to Earth.
Mhm.
They don't end up fucking their legs up or something like that. because that's like the one thing they have to focus on the most. Because when you're in zero gravity, you're mostly moving your arms. Like your arms stay okay, but like you don't use your legs at all. So
Right. It's kind of like just bouncing as
Yeah.
if your legs are just there.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're moving everything with your arms compared to down here where everything you do is you walk with your legs.
Not me.
Yeah.
Constant handstands 24/7.
Lucas walks on his hands. So. Damn.
Oh god, the glasses came off.
Everything's
He's
so
getting
bright.
serious now.
Everything's so bright. No, I have to look at my thing. So besides like cybernetics and AI, what do you think would be like another thing that the next generation of tech would be that would like revolutionize like how people live?
I think
Fortnite
VR VR is going to be like
Fortnite
probably
VR.
the main way to play games maybe within the next probably 40, 50 years.
Oh yeah.
You think people are still going to be using controllers in 40, 50 years?
No way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seen the
I
one
think there
I
might
did-
still be a market for it because some people just
Like a
prefer
niche
that.
market, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just
like with the Oculus and stuff going like all Bluetooth.
It's
That's
just there's
like-
so many games that can't be like you can't do in VR really.
Right.
I mean, like you can't do like a grand strategy game in VR.
Yeah,
Not
true.
really.
Unless it's like VR, but you still have a controller in your hand.
yeah.
Right.
Even then, it's just a new way of viewing it. How's that better than a
True.
monitor?
Well,
That's true.
there's private
Treadmill
companies.
interview?
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, could you
there's-
imagine like a big like MMO, like World of Warcraft or
Holy
something
shit,
in
that'd be
VR? That'd be
crazy.
impossible.
That'd be
I'm
There's
sure
just
there
way
will
though.
too
be
much.
eventually.
There's just way too much to manage for a game like that. Because you have to look at like this entire,
Yeah, it's like there's just games
screen
you
length
can't-
amount of
yeah.
like abilities and stuff like that. There's just no way it could be anything but on a PC.
Well, I've seen there's private companies right now that are doing different things. Like there's one company that's making a vest that you put on, so when you play shooters or stuff like that, or like
Feel
you
it?
kind of like you feel it, like it really gets you in the immersion. There's another company I saw that's making.
I want to feel like I'm gonna die.
Well, I mean, like it's like a adrenaline rush that like you get killed in the game that you want to do better so you don't feel that again. But then there's another company I saw that's doing this, has like a pad that you stand on that's like a treadmill, and you move. That's how you move and stuff. And then like if you duck, there's a sensor on your back that's strapped to this vest that if you duck, it ducks down with you and everything like that. So it's like a lot of stuff that they're making right now is pretty revolutionary. Like,
Did you
And
guys
if you're
know
Wait, what?
there's an esport right now that exists for bicycling, where it's just a stationary bike and there's like a screen in front of you, and you bicycle, and like other people are doing it too, like over the internet and whatever, and you race that way.
I mean, there's like
Oh.
and stuff
And
like
this guy that won it cheated, and they called it him using cyber steroids because he had
Oh,
like a
lit.
modded bike or something.
That's
They
awesome.
called it
Cyber
steroids.
We'll find any way to cheat.
I know. I just think that's crazy. Like stuff like that
Cyber
exists. It's basically, I don't know if it's VR. I think you just look at a screen in front of you, but still,
I mean, yeah.
it'd be really easy to make that into VR.
But if you were talking like
Like-
cybernetics, like with how you can connect something to your brain that can that VR. So like anything you imagine will just like happen in front of you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like insanely dangerous though, to have something hooked up to your brain?
That's the whole point.
I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know if that would ever be like marketable though.
Plug it in.
You can't get it up otherwise.
Well, I don't know. They might do it for the military. They might do it for combat situations. Like,
That
get-
could be possible.
yeah, like do like a brain implant that you hook in, and then they experience battle before they're actually in the battle.
Well, they have some, like when I went to that basic thing before. It wasn't basic. It was whatever. It was an actual place that I went to for the military, and they had
Call of Duty.
basically. Now it was like this big like green screen setup, and then you had like actual like modified like rifles, and you would just like shoot at the screen on like stuff that appears on it. It was really cool. It
He's
still
just
had,
he's just recounting his time at the arcade and the pizza place.
no, because it still had like the weight.
103.
It had like the weight and everything of a real like gun.
we
but
understood. Went to David Buster's the other day.
and I'm serious, damn it! It was really cool.
This giant
You get to
screen. And,
you actually get to shoot at it all. Fuck you guys, dude. It was so neat. It was really cool. And like stuff like that already exists. So it's almost like virtual like training for like aiming and stuff like that.
Well, imagine that,
was
but
really
like
neat.
you have that implant in the back of your head, and then like you're actually seeing.
I don't know,
Now
man.
imagine you have the implant in your back of your head, and also
You're at David
just getting
Buster's.
head.
There's just like so many things that can go wrong with it. Because we still don't even know that much about our own brains yet. Like there's
We
still
don't
so
know that
many
much about
things.
Dave and Buster's.
We don't.
sorry.
No, we're still learning Dave and Buster. Dude, they had all these new games there. I was like, what the hell is this place?
Like I know, dude. I know the Dave
The
part.
one with the rifle
What,
that feels like
Buster?
Well, they have like a roller coaster VR simulator there.
Like Dave
There's a
from Wendy's.
Star Wars VR thing. They still had 4-player air hockey, which was the entire reason I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Because that shit's dank. But they had 4-player Pong. Like where you have a little swivel thing and you're playing
Yeah.
Pong.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It was
like the
neat. There was
iPhone
some-
game, like you like just kind of do that,
Where
or
it bounces
what?
back and forth on the stick.
No, like the game from
Oh, the
1970.
Pong. Oh.
Like
I was
actual
thinking,
long
like-
round.
I was thinking.
There was a beer pong game though, where you had to make a ball into cups. I did very well at that one.
Well, of course. I mean, you're
Surprising.
you.
Good job.
Beer pong savant. That's all I got to my name.
Even virtual
Beer pong savant teammate.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
Even though I won entire games without you scoring a single ball in a cup.
That's why I said teammate.
Sometimes he's there for moral support. You know, he's got to be there.
I
Stan
had
was
some
the best,
clutches.
dude. You did. No, it was pretty clutch. You made some good ones. It's too bad we don't even know each other in real life.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's the sad part.
I've been like waiting to meet him for a while, but I just can't get the plane ticket because my
Yeah,
mom keeps
doing-
saying no because my dog ate my homework, and then I had to eat the dog to get the homework back.
Doing beer pong over Discord is not easy, man.
It's not.
Yeah, I've broken 3 webcams that way.
Trying to like calculate it.
That's why I got
Just throw
a
it-
new webcam. That's why I got
Did
the
I
new
make it?
webcam this week. Is I broke 3 of them
You broke 3 of them.
with Pong.
At
It
Dave and
happens,
Buster.
man. At Dave and
At Dave and
At Dave and
Buster's.
Buster's.
Yeah,
he just brings his webcam there.
Even Busters.
Is Dave and Buster's like?
more like
Is
Dave
it a
and
national
Buster.
chain or is it just
Yeah,
like in
Yeah,
some
I'm
state?
pretty sure.
Is
I
it?
think so.
Yeah,
I honestly had no idea.
they stretch, they go.
Did you guys see? There's only one in this state, but there is a car vending machine.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Did you see? So we went to Top Golf not that long ago for Tim's birthday, and right next to it is a car vending machine, where it's literally you get a new car, like you spend like 10 grand or whatever, and it's a roulette where you get a random car from it.
That's kind of
Real
lit.
life loot
What the
boxes.
fuck?
Let's go.
We can. I mean, I don't have the money, but we can go.
What the fuck?
It's all
Then
fit-
what's even the point of being your friend?
We can go to
Can I-
Top Golf. It's right next to it.
Let's go to Top Golf and then let's just run the car roulette table. And I'm gonna get a Beetle.
You never know. Like that's the crazy thing. Like that's such like, I don't know if it's a great idea or the stupidest idea ever. I have no idea.
That's
Just
weird.
think you drop in 10K and you get a car you don't like.
I know. Like that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, you
is there
get
like
a-
one
You
reroll?
get like a
or
Volkswagen
something?
Beetle.
You get like one
You get a
second
Beetle and
chance?
you're like re-roll and you get the Beetle again. You're like,
Fuck.
Well, the video blows up, and we can make 10K from it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Next video is
win
at
the lottery.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you want us to get.
As Stan's webcam freezes on him.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you want us to get new cars from a vending machine.
We'll
Yeah.
start a GoFundMe.
There you go.
Send us
trying to
send
get
us money to do a car vending machine.
I would love.
Sounds like a
that.
great idea.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do that for sure.
Patreon, yeah.
Who gets
Yeah.
the car? What do we do with the car?
We
We
just
rotate it.
Make it like an
we
off-road
rotate it.
machine.
Every day somebody else gets it, and on weekends nobody gets it.
Yeah, we have to
We just
stay
pass
in on
around a
weekend.
bat and we each just take swings at it.
We just destroy it. We get,
I was
so
gonna
imagine
start
we get
dividing
10 grand
days,
from our
but damn.
subscribers just to destroy a car. That
Yeah.
was
Start
Yeah,
a new
one bat.
contest.
Pretty good. One bat, that's it. Or just like frozen eggs, that's it.
The one
Just
bat check.
frozen eggs.
Frozen.
Dude, those things are hard.
Damn, I couldn't imagine that.
Frozen eggs.
It's not the only hard.
Throw a frozen egg. It's like
Oh
a
my
bullet.
god, look at my nipples.
Yeah.
Is it cold
Jesus.
there, dude?
I'd rather not.
They're just they're
nipple
always
rings,
around.
diamonds.
It's just who I am as a person.
Who I am, Nipple Man.
That's
Who
my
I
superhero name.
Nipple Man. Oh, here comes Nipple Man.
I can only fight people.
Man,
I
yeah,
take
that-
out bad guys with my nipples. I just
He just like flexes and his shirt just like turns to ash.
it's just swinging.
I'm just standing there. I'm sitting here watching Stan eat that banana.
It's just stuck in there, dude.
We would like to interrupt this episode of Stan eating a banana on the podcast to say shout out to Rob.
Oh, shout out to Rob.
Shout out to Rob,
You
man.
beautiful
Rob.
bastard.
I remembered.
Good job.
It's
Because I
every time.
forgot.
I don't really know him, but hey, dude.
I completely forgot to shout out Rob. We got to make sure to do that every podcast.
Every time.
Hey Rob, if you're watching right now, I was supposed to come up with a joke for the end of this sentence. I don't have one.
Subscribe
Hi,
back
Rob.
to him. Subscribe back to Stan.
Oh
I think
yeah,
he
subscribe
did.
back to me.
I'm like 80% sure he subscribed. Maybe. Who knows? I know we had that talk about he didn't want to
Check,
because you were
check
at
his
69.
social blade.
Did you, Luke? You probably saw this. Did you see the NRA went bankrupt?
No, I did not
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, they went
saw-
fucking bankrupt.
Don't do that.
I saw
I mean, they
that.
don't.
I saw
What
that
do
and I
they
was like,
even-
oh Jesus.
What do they even do? Like, I sincerely, like, this is a real question. I don't even know what they do.
Tax fraud.
See, I thought I was dumb.
I have no idea, honestly. I know they
So
just.
I literally.
Not,
You
I'm
know
not
what they
calling
do?
you dumb, but like before we started recording, I was like, what do they even really do?
I know. I have no idea. Like, I
Really?
sincerely have no clue what they do.
It's really just a big tax dodge.
yeah.
Isn't it? It's just
Fraud
like
shit.
them fighting to make sure that everybody can get a gun. Is that all they do?
Maybe.
They're supposed to do.
Could be.
I feel like we're gonna say something really ignorant if we continue.
Oh,
I,
this.
yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
am. I
Yeah,
am
we
ignorant.
probably-
Like, I sincerely, I don't know. I lack the knowledge to know what they actually do. I mean,
Oh,
I'm sure I'm not the only one out. I mean, clearly I'm not the only
yeah,
one out there.
clearly, yeah. I mean, here, you know.
here before we end it, since we're getting close to the hour mark,
Ooh.
I looked over and I saw this, boys. I showed Calvin and Ryan already, but
The Mega Millions for the boys.
For the boys.
What do you guys
What was that?
think?
$80? $80 worth of Mega Millions tickets?
70
Wow.
$70 worth of
70
Mega
bucks
Millions tickets.
between our whole friend group.
Dude, we would never have to work again.
Well, I
If
did
we
the
win
I
that,
did the
we'll spend
math.
it all on the car vendor.
Yeah, we got
Dude,
$700 million. Let's go.
Even though you could just buy whatever car you would want.
Yeah, really.
You wanna
Nope.
get it from the
I want to
roulette
get it
machine.
from the roulette machine.
He's gonna get a really expensive spend card from Dave and Buster just so he can get the Xbox One X behind the counter.
There it is.
Yeah.
$850 million, baby. Let's get it.
I did
You want to
the
know how nice I am? I used my Dave and Buster's winnings to buy a stuffed animal for my niece.
She's also 2, so it would be kind of a dick move if you didn't do that.
We interrupt this podcast for a
It
wholesome.
was my birthday. I should have gotten something for me.
She's 2.
It was
You're
my
27.
Complaining. He's like, look how nice I am while I complain about it was being my birthday.
It was my birthday.
So I
He's like, and with the remaining tickets, I got one of those slapper hands and I slapped her with it.
I just punched her in the face, dude. Gotta learn one day.
I hope your sister doesn't watch this.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool. I'll have to have a talk with her about that.
I think I told her about it, but she's not the type to watch a podcast.
Not even with her brother in it. And her
Yeah, I'd like to-
Especially with her brother in it.
Jesus, Ryan.
Is that really loud?
Yeah.
That
Oh my
was really
God.
loud.
Apologies. Oh, wait. McDonald's drive-thru?
McDonald's.
Is that what you said? Is that what it
It
sounded
sounded
like?
kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you wait, Ryan? Do me a favor. I want to relive a terrible moment in my life. Can you, when I say, ask me
I like
if
how excited I was to do that. I want to relive a terrible moment. I'm like, yeah, tell me.
so bring the voice back for the McDonald's drive-thru, and then you're gonna ask me if I want any sauce with that, and I'm gonna say buffalo, but you're gonna say Diet Coke. Like you're gonna think that I'm saying Diet Coke, but I'm saying buffalo sauce. And we're gonna do that about like 3 or 4 times. Are you ready?
In the McDonald's voice.
Yeah, McDonald's voice.
Let me just get into character real quick.
No, go ahead.
Me.
Oh no, thank you, order.
Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?
Yeah, can I get a 10-piece chicken nugget meal, please?
What's a drink there?
Can I get a bottle of water?
And the sauce?
Can I get buffalo, please?
All right, so I got a Diet Coke, chicken nuggets, and is that all?
Nah, buffalo sauce.
Okay, yeah, okay, Diet Coke, found it. Yeah, there it is. All right, so
No,
pull up
buffalo
to the next window?
sauce.
if you want to pull up to the next window,
No,
we
wait,
can look that up for you.
No,
What
buffalo.
sorry, say what?
Buffalo sauce.
Yeah, I got your Diet Coke. It's on. I see it.
No,
On the screen right in front of me here.
Yeah, I see. I didn't want a Diet Coke. I wanted buffalo sauce.
Oh, no Diet Coke? Okay, let me pull that off right there for you.
Buffalo sauce with my nuggets.
You said Diet Coke.
The pause. That's
Like,
I was playing a really tired and frustrated. I was playing a really tired and frustrated drive-through worker.
no bullshit. That's exactly how it went the one time I went to McDonald's. No bullshit. I got
Long pauses too, like
I had my mom in the passenger seat. My mom already ordered, and the lady asked me what I wanted. I said I wanted a 10-piece nugget meal, and she was like, "Okay, what do you want to drink?" And I was like, "Can I get a water?" And she's like, "Do you want any sauce?" And I was like, "Buffalo, please." And she was like, "Diet Coke?" And I was like, "No, buffalo sauce." And she's like, "Yeah, Diet Coke." And I was like, "No, buffalo sauce." And she was like, "Yeah, Diet Coke." I was like, "No, buffalo sauce." Damn, bitch, what's wrong with you? I was like,
She's
Jesus.
fucking with you.
did you turn to your mom and give her the
Yeah, I looked at my mom, like I'm looking at the drive-thru, and I turn and look at my mom. I was like,
Yeah.
my mom's like,
Is
"Oh,
it true that they can see you? I think I heard a long time ago that there's cameras at like every drive-thru.
really?"
Or like at least like when they go away they can still hear you or something like that.
I think so,
Probably.
because I think Lucas and I proved that right the one time. We went through the Taco Bell drive-thru, and I said something to the I yelled at Lucas for something, and the person on the intercom heard it, and they started laughing. Or they said something. They thought that I was talking to them, and Lucas was like, "No, he's talking to me."
The one time I went to Taco Bell, it was like late at night, and there was like these kids working, and like I did my order, and they're like, "Do you want any ketchup with that?" And I'm like, "What?" I was like, no. And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, I'm good. I don't need any ketchup. And they're like, "Okay, pull her out." So I pull her out, and they're just like cracking up. And they're like, "Sorry, man. We're just going crazy. Everybody called off, and it's just two of us here." And I'm like, "It's all good, dude." And they spent the next like 10 minutes trying to convince me to work with them. And I'm like, "I don't think I want to." And they're
These
just like,
random
"Come on,
guys.
man."
I'm good.
Tried to get recruited by Taco Bell one time.
My coworkers too, not
I
even
literally 20 minutes I sat in the drive-thru and just talked to them. It was the best drive-thru experience I think I ever had. Do you want any ketchup? I was like, "Yeah, dude, give me a Big
like
Mac."
ketchup on that, like aggressive.
They weren't.
You sure?
They weren't getting aggressive.
Does
I'm like thinking
anybody?
about it.
Does
Do I want
anybody?
ketchup on my tacos?
Does anybody want to do an outro, or do you want me to do it? I figured we
Fuck
should.
you, guys.
We should
My
start
band
doing
is on
one.
my finger 'cause I need to change it so my gross fingies out.
Oh, gross.
There you go.
That's gross.
Hey, so I'll get it nice and.
Are we signing off? Is that it?
Yeah, well, it's already been an hour, so we might as well.
It's
All
been
right.
Stubu.
Well,
It's been Ryan.
Luke.
and Alex. Thanks for joining me, guys. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was a good time.
Yeah.
There, yes, sir.
Like, comment,
Yes, sir.
and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.